Hello and welcome to another Ask Cheeky. I'm Isaiah Henkel with Cheeky Scientist. This week's question comes from Rashid Nair. I have no industry experience or skills. Help, how to get a job? Great question, Rashid. Here's the truth. Our internal polling of the Cheeky Scientist Association shows that 96% of PhDs who become interested in an industry job have no industry experience. 96%. I'll give you another statistic. 83% don't think they have skills matching the jobs they're interested in. So, as PhDs, we tend to think that we are not qualified for anything to do outside of academia because we don't have PhD level industry experience and we don't have the exact skills that are on the job posting. Does this sound familiar? Does it sound like a concern that you have? It was a concern that I used to have as well. And I'm going to tell you exactly what you can do to compensate for any lack of skills that you have, any lack of industry experience. First of all, understand that it's normal. Now, when I was finishing my academic career, I realized that every job posting I looked at was never matching the skills that I had in my head, the skills that I had been doing for my thesis, the very specific, very niche-based academic skills that were aligned with my academic background. The truth is that my understanding of skills in general was too narrow. My understanding of what industry was looking for, my understanding of how job postings work was naive, ignorant. I did not know that job postings were just recycled templates that maybe Indeed or the other applicant system that the company is using, the software they're using, the artificial intelligence software, was just repeating and reusing over and over again. They were making a few edits, and that was it. I also didn't understand or didn't think about it that hiring managers, recruiters, for the most part, didn't have PhDs. They were people who went to school, usually had a bachelor's, and had learned about transferable skills, non-technical skills, and didn't really focus on those in their studies. And so this came through in the job postings that they prepared. So they would get a template. They would take some notes from the director in a lab or the director who gave them the technical skills that they needed to hire for, and they would just make a list of those skills, add them into a template that was a job posting, and then add some transferable skills that they cared about. And this mashup was the job posting. Okay, it wasn't like a very carefully peer-reviewed article that was being used as a job posting. And this is why you might be reading job posting after job posting and think, I don't have any of these skills. In some cases, they might just be using different words. Okay, so again, most PhDs feel this way. Most PhDs think that they don't have skills that match the jobs they're interested in. Most PhDs, too, have been in academia their entire life. Maybe they had a summer job or a job at university, high school before, but they haven't had a PhD level job, a job after getting their PhD. You are not alone. Like we talked about at the beginning with the statistics, it's important to understand that. And again, this was the case for me, and it really held me back because it was more of a limiting belief where I kept thinking, I can't get this job. I don't have the skills. I'm not even going to apply. Oh, this job posting says that I need 2 to 5 years of industry experience. I'm not even going to apply. It's not until I shifted my mindset, and in general, the PhDs in our association, once they shift their mindset, that I and them had different outcomes. So I started applying to any job that I was interested in. No matter how much industry experience it said was needed, no matter what the skills were, this is what I did to compensate for my lack of experience and my mismatch of skills. First, I would talk about my ability to learn quickly. I would show commitment to the job. And this can be done in a variety of ways, but what I recommend is talking about your speed of learning. Use that exact phrase, speed of learning. Talk about your ability to process information quickly, information processing. Talk about how trainable you are. Realize that a lot of employers, they don't want to hire people with industry experience who have learned to do the things they need them to do, but a different way. Right? Think about this. So every company has their own proprietary way of doing things. So if they hire somebody who's learned to do a process a different way at a different company, that's not necessarily a good thing. And you should highlight this to them during your phone screens, during your interviews, your site visits. Talk about how you learn very quickly and you can learn about their processes, doing things their way. up front. And the fact that you don't have any industry experience is actually an advantage, because not only do you learn quickly, but you haven't been mistrained by another company previously. It might sound silly, but it works, and it's true. If you talk about this to employers, you're showing them your advantages, the skill sets. You're helping them understand that you as a PhD are incredibly valuable, because what they care about is how quickly they can teach you to do everything they need you to do. And you're a PhD after all, doctor of philosophy. Philosophy is knowledge and the ability to ascertain knowledge. So talk about your information processing, your speed of learning, how fast you learn. That's one way to compensate. The second way to compensate is to talk about the skills that you have that are relevant to the skills that they need you to have. You don't have to have the exact skills. In fact, I could argue that nobody has the exact skills that are needed. The skills that every company needs, they're just general, and then that company has a proprietary way of doing it. They might be using a different software program to track the skill. They might have a slightly different way in the lab or in whatever department in which for you to execute that skill. Okay, so it's all relative. So what you need to do is take whatever you've done in the past and fit it together in the best way possible and make it seem as relevant as possible for where the company wants you to go in that role, for the skills they want you to have. By doing this, you'll compensate for any lack of experience that you have and for any mismatch in skills. As always, remember your value as a PhD and start thinking and acting like a successful industry professional. And if you want to learn more about getting hired in industry, you can go to PhDs, gethired.com, put in your name and email. We'll send you all of our free materials on getting hired.